There comes a point in the parent's life where they have to answer the question, should I allow social media? If so, when should I allow social media? And what social media should I allow? In this video, I will be giving you a pros and cons list to social media to help you answer these questions. My name is Jack Hughes, and I help parents protect their kids online. I've grown up in this digital age, and I know the dangers of the internet firsthand because I've lived in it. And it's because I know those dangers firsthand that I now help you, the parent, on protecting your kids from those very same dangers that I experienced growing up. If you need any help or need further information, feel free to check out my website at parenttech.support. Without further ado, let's jump into pro number one of social media. Pro number one, social connection. Childhood, like everything today, is heavily involved in screens and technology. Social media is one of the ways that your child makes new friends or becomes closer with their already current friends. Whether that's sending memes on Instagram or sending each other snaps, social media can strengthen connections with friends and help make new connections with other people. The second pro is access to information. Whether it's new cooking recipes or fun, interesting, wacky scientific facts, or even new, interesting art ideas, social media has a vast sum of information on it. I, for one, have learned a lot from social media. Social media has taught me how to play the guitar. I've learned all about how cars work, how to fix cars, how engines work. I even use that information about cars and engines and mechanical stuff to create my very own motorcycle with an engine I bought off Amazon and a cheap little junky mountain bike I got off Facebook Marketplace. On to pro number three. Social media allows you to give your talents and passions to the world. Let's say your child is really talented with the piano. They're gifted with it and they could play beautiful music. They could use social media to share that with the world and not just keep it for the family. Or let's say your child was really gifted with chess. He could make a YouTube channel or an Instagram channel and tell other kids and explain to other kids how to play chess as good as he can. That's another way that your child can share their talent and their gift to the world using social media. Sadly, social media isn't all roses and butterflies. There are a lot of cons to social media. Moving on to con number one, which is exposure to harmful content. Remember how I said for pro number two, how social media has a vast sum of information? That vast sum of information isn't just the good stuff and the good content like how to play guitar. There's also a lot of negative and bad content out there. There's a lot of content about drugs, about hateful content like anti-Semitism, for example. Social media also has a lot of pornographic content on it. Even though sites like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram will try their hardest to keep that off of there, it can still be found on YouTube and TikTok with a relatively good amount of searching, but yet you can still find it on there, even though these sites try to keep it off as much as possible. On to con number two, which is online predators. There are a lot of nasty sexual predators out there, and there's a lot on social media. A lot of the time, these predators will approach kids on social media, and these kids won't know that they're sexual predators like they would in person. And so these kids will engage with these predators on social media. That's something you really want to be wary about when your child uses social media. All right, on to the third con of social media, which is addiction. Social media is incredibly addictive. Experts say that social media affects our brain just like any other addictive drug. Social media has been designed from the ground up by experts to release as much dopamine in your brains as possible. And our brains love dopamine, and it keeps you wanting to watch more and more and more social media. And before you know it, you've wasted 45 minutes of your life, time you'll never get back. I, for one, will open up my phone and intend to scroll Instagram for like 5 minutes, and before I know it, 30 minutes have passed, and I'm late to pick up my siblings from their school. If it's hard for you as an adult to resist social media, imagine how hard it must be for your child to resist the addictive pull of social media. On to our fourth and final con of social media, which is increased mental health struggles. Social media also causes a lot of mental health struggles. Studies have shown teens who spend 3 or more hours on social media are twice as likely to experience anxiety and depression. Again, because social media is so addictive, 3 hours is not out of the norm for kids these days. I know a lot of people who spend 6 hours or more a day on their phone. I, for one, will be scrolling through social media and I'll see something that my friends have posted a photo of them all hanging out, maybe at like Culver's or something. And I'll think to myself, man, why wasn't I invited? Do they not like me or something? And now I'll feel anxious thinking that my friends don't like me because they never invited me to Culver's, even though I was probably out of town for that. Or I'll compare myself to the top 0.001% athlete who can do 100 muscle ups in a row. And I can't even do one. I feel like a failure when I compare myself to him. But that's everywhere on social media. You can't go more than 5 seconds without seeing a perfect goddess who you're comparing yourself to. And it's just setting unrealistic expectations for each other. At the end of the day, is social media safe for your kids? Sadly, it's not as black or white as yes or no. But here are a few more things you might want to consider. Number one, whether or not your child should have social media heavily depends on your child. For example, girls are more prone to the negative and harmful mental effects of social media, like comparing themselves to the top 1% of the world. Meanwhile, boys are more prone to the negative content, like all the adult content on social media. Number two, not all social media is created equal. Instagram is probably one of the worst social medias out there. It's incredibly addictive. It's toxic. Has a lot of negative content on there. YouTube, on the other hand, has a lot less of the negatives that Instagram has, but still has a lot of the positives, like learning new skills, like sharing videos of yourself playing chess or whatever. Again, if you need any help or have any questions, feel free to check out my website at parenttech.support. If you like this video, please leave a like or leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.